Hello everybody, Blue Dooley, and today we're working on the FMS 1/18 scale Chevy K10, which as you can see, I already have it apart, so I have started working on it already. I actually have done some 3D modeling and some 3D printing of some parts just to kind of dress the truck up a little bit. I haven't done anything to the chassis yet in itself to modify the truck in any way, but we're going to, in this video, go over some 3D parts I made. I'm actually going to show kind of the process of how I model in FreeCAD, and we also got some primer because, well, red's not really my color, and this truck's been stock too long, so we're going to modify it a little bit. Primarily in the looks department first, and then I'm actually thinking I might make a different suspension setup for the truck. I've kind of been kicking around an idea on how to make some leaf springs for the truck so the square body can actually be on leaf springs like it's supposed to in real life. But we're also going to strip all the chrome parts on the truck as well. I've seen a few videos on how to do that, so we're kind of cover how to safely strip the chrome off the plastic parts, and I'm gonna also see how long it takes, because I've heard varying degrees of how long it takes. I suppose it also depends on the quality of the chrome plating process to the plastic in the first place. It might affect how well it is or how easy it is to strip the chrome. Let's go ahead and dive into the body. So we're going to start with the tailgate, and the only thing I noticed when taking it apart, there's no handle in the tailgate, but the letters are slightly raised. The tailgate is two pieces. There is a roll pan on the bottom of the bed, and then these two parts actually come off the cab corners. These parts here hold the LEDs in the bed of the truck, and the back of the cab. Now the cab itself is really nice. I'm going to have to set you down here so we can get the hood off. It also fits really snug, so I think this edge here, I'll paint it, but I don't know if the paint's going to stay on that edge. But the hood, nicely molded. The only parts I could not get off are the wipers and the door handles. They appear to be kind of pressed in and melted, I think. There's the door handles. So I will spray the body, and then I'll come back with a small fine brush and re-black out all that stuff. Now the bed is two pieces, and this is the roll bar I came up with. A very basic single hoop. The print quality didn't do really good, so I need to do a little sanding, but that's not the only thing I made for the truck. Did come up with this headache rack, which I'm really happy with. The print on this came out a lot nicer than the roll bar, but it just fits on the front of the bed, just like a real one. And you can use some tiny hardware to fasten it down to the bed. I don't have anything extra that small, and I also don't know I have the patience for that small hardware, so if I'm going to use the headache rack, I think I might just put a little glue on it and glue it down to the bed. But the headache rack, the roll bar, and the bumpers I'm going to show you are all available on my Thingivese page, which I'll make sure to link down in the description. So come back over here to the cab. And this is the first bumper. My spacing for the bumper mounts wasn't quite right, but they're just a simple tube bumper. And there is a place for a winch. I don't think anybody makes a scale winch this small. I did accidentally break one of these. This is another trial piece. So I have 3 versions of this bumper. There's this one with slightly thicker tubes that are 7mm. And then I have a thinner tube. I also redesigned the mounts a little bit so they are a little more sturdy. I don't think the print quality I print at is sturdy enough to actually put a winch on this bumper. But I'm happy with the width. It's a little bit wider than the body. The uprights are 1.5mm. These particular tubes are 6mm. And then I have one without these outer tubes. It has this tube and this tube, but it's basically more of a grill guard. Both in the same place as the factory bumpers. Again, the factory bumpers aren't really super secure. And I'm currently, oops, that's upside down, working on a tube bumper for the rear. This one I'm not terribly happy with. The receiver hitch I don't think was quite heavy enough, and then the mounts were way too thin. So working on this. The rear bumper is the only thing not uploaded to my Thingivese page. The roll bar and 3 different versions of that front bumper are. And then what I have here, move some things around, is a steel, not aluminum, this is magnetic, it is a steel bread pan. And the way we're going to strip the chrome off of the wheels, the mirrors, and the grille, both bumpers, so pretty much all the chrome we're going to strip. And we're actually going to use some Purple Power Super Clean. We're just going to fill this up a little bit to submerge these parts. And then all you have to do is wait. And then you might have to do a little cleanup with a brush or something just to get some of the smaller nooks and crannies cleaned up. But I have seen that the Purple Power or the Super Clean will eat through an aluminum pan. So I think for this process, this pan was $4.99. I forget where the wife found it, but this price is on it still. $4.99. A nice steel pan that should hold up to this process for quite some time. And if you needed to do some other washing and chemical use, I think the steel is the better way to go. So let me grab what we're using to soak these parts with. Just a jug of concentrated Purple Power industrial strength cleaner and degreaser. You should use probably rubber gloves or tools to get the parts in and out of this stuff, because it is pretty it's pretty potent stuff. So let's fill this up a little bit, and we'll see how long it takes to actually strip the parts. Alright, put that there for now. It is currently 2:19 at the time of filming. We'll put these down, get them sinking. So we might need just a little more in there to get that grill completely under. So we're going to let those soak. And I'm not going to bore you with that. So while this is soaking and I'm painting the body, we'll actually cut over to FreeCAD, and I'll kind of go over the process of how I design the parts, including the roll bar, in FreeCAD so I could 3D print them. Put the bumpers off in my cheap calipers. We're going to hop in FreeCAD and actually design up a couple bumpers for the truck. Thinking I might make a headache rack for the truck as well. Might even try for a roll bar. But I've had the truck stock for a while, and stock's not really what this channel is about. It's all about tinkering and playing around. Now, FreeCAD is free. That's kind of why I like it. And it's been a little while since I've used it. It does have quite a lot of features that I still don't know how to use. So I'm going to go through the way I have been making parts in FreeCAD. There is a drafting option, so if you kind of want to draw it out in basically 2 dimensions and then fill it out and make it 3-dimensional, you can do that in the program. It does a lot of stuff for free. This was going to be a really long, really boring video if I had left this FreeCAD portion at normal speed. So I sped it up and took 2 hours work and cut it down to about 2 minutes. As I mentioned earlier, FreeCAD has a drafting program. Every time it updates, I never really continued to figure out how to use the drafting portion. So as you're seeing me, I'm basically just starting with basic shapes and using basic shapes to cut other shapes, and with fillets, chamfers, angling parts and cutting them apart and fusing them together. That's pretty much how I build everything in FreeCAD. And I don't think it's an ideal way to do it, but so far it's actually worked for me fairly well. The bumper comes out really nice, as you've seen a little bit earlier in the video, and it gets the results I want. The only problem I've had so far with it is the roll bar. I don't know if it's just the way things lined up, that it sometimes had problems recomputing the part after fusing 2 pieces together, but I did get that eventually to work. Instead of trying to make 2 of the sides, I had to just make the shape I wanted and then mirror it and then fuse those 2 parts together. But as you can see, I just roll right along, and you know, if you kind of know what you're doing, like here, it's not ideal possibly, but it does get you the parts you want if you can kind of visualize it in some way. And yeah, there we go. 2 hours work in about 2 minutes, and we have a bumper. So the chrome's been soaking for more than an hour, and FMS either uses really good chroming on their plastic, or that particular purple power isn't as powerful as I thought it was. So those are going to have to sit longer, but they are it is starting to work. I'll grab them. It's coming off. It's not coming off very fast. The mirrors, the wheels, the grill and the bumpers are very purple power resilient. Come over here to the makeshift paint booth, and it's going to be hard to see because of course it's black on black on black, but I have the inside of the bed painted up. I just flipped it over so I could get the underside. But the top of the bed rails will be black. The inside will be black, like it's bed line. The roll bar, bumper, all the inside of the tailgate is currently black. And on top, the body is currently in white primer. I just put another little coat on that. I've been going very, very light coats. So I believe this is going to have to be a 2-part video, as The painting and the dechroming were going to take longer than I thought. Should have probably started a little earlier in the day, but I was working on some other projects. So that is going to do it for this video. I apologize, we don't have a finished look at the truck yet, but stay tuned, because in the next video, it'll be together and painted.